Mark Jackson. Mark A. Jackson, born April 1, 1965, is an American former professional basketball player who was a point guard in the National Basketball Association, NBA. He played college basketball for the St. John's Red Storm and was selected by the New York Knicks in the first round of the 1987 NBA draft with the 18th overall pick. He played in the NBA for the Knicks, Los Angeles Clippers, Indiana Pacers, Denver Nuggets, Toronto Raptors, Utah Jazz, and Houston Rockets in a career spanning from 1987 to 2004. After retiring from playing basketball, Jackson became a broadcast commentator for ESPN and ABC alongside his former coach Jeff Van Gundy and play-by-play man Mike Breen. He also worked as an analyst for the YES Network's New Jersey Nets games. In 2011, the Golden State Warriors hired Jackson as head coach. He coached the team for 3 seasons, but was fired in 2014 despite leading the Warriors to consecutive playoff appearances for the first time in over 20 years. Following this, he returned to ESPN and continued working as a commentator until his removal in 2023. About Mark Jackson's early life. Mark Jackson grew up in the St. Albans neighborhood of Queens, New York. He was regarded as one of the nation's elite point guards while attending Bishop Laughlin Memorial High School in Brooklyn under coach Patrick Quigley. Jackson was raised Catholic. Jackson gained a reputation as a streetballer in New York. About Mark Jackson's college career. Jackson was a college hoop star at St. John's University. While at St. John's, he played alongside Olympian and NBA All-Star Chris Mullin for 2 seasons. He credits Mullin with teaching him the importance of rigorous practice work in the gym. While at St. John's, Jackson developed an unusual free throw line ritual of extending his hand and cupping his thumb and index finger around the rim. This helped him stay focused on the rim while shooting foul shots. He continued this well into his pro career, and it helped him to a career 77% free throw percentage. About Mark Jackson's professional career. Jackson was the 18th pick of the 1987 NBA draft by the New York Knicks. He teamed with Patrick Ewing and Charles Oakley to turn the Knicks into a prime playoff team in the late 1980s and early 1990s. However, before the Knicks peaked and became regular playoff contenders, he was traded to the Los Angeles Clippers in 1992. Jackson had a steady career with the Knicks, most notably under coach Rick Pitino, averaging 13.6 points and 10.6 assists per game in his rookie season, earning him the 1988 Rookie of the Year award, the lowest overall draft pick to win the award since Woody Salisbury in 1958. He was the only non-lottery pick to have won the award since the introduction of the system in 1985 until the 2016-17 season, where Malcolm Brogdon won the award as a second-round pick. In 1989, Jackson had another promising season for the Knicks, teaming with Ewing to lead them to the Atlantic Division title and the number 2 seed in the East, behind the eventual champion Detroit Pistons, whom they swept 4-0 in the regular season, and making his lone All-Star Game appearance. After sweeping Charles Barkley's Philadelphia team in the opening round, the Knicks faced the upstart Chicago Bulls, led by Michael Jordan, in the Eastern Conference semifinals. Near the end of Game 2, Jackson, en route to a fast break layup in the fourth quarter, looked back and stuck out his tongue at Jordan. Before finishing the layup, Jordan responded with a 40-plus PPG average the remainder of the series, and led Chicago to a 4-2 series victory. Following a contract extension prior to the 1990 season, Jackson began to lose his all-star form. The loss of Pitino, who left to coach the University of Kentucky, and starting the season out of shape were key factors. Consequently, he began to face stiff competition from backup guard Rod Strickland, and then after Strickland was traded away, Maurice Cheeks, to the point where in their decisive first-round Game 5 against Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, Robert Parrish, Dennis Johnson, and the Boston Celtics at the Boston Garden, Knicks coach Stu Jackson decided to bench Mark Jackson for the entire game. New York defeated Boston to advance to the second round, where they lost to the eventual champion Detroit Pistons in 5 games. About Mark Jackson's coaching career. On June 6, 2011, Jackson was hired as head coach of the Golden State Warriors. He was the first head coach hired by new owners Joe Lacob and Peter Guber. After inheriting a team that had made the playoffs just once in the previous 17 years, Jackson promised to turn the Warriors into a good defensive team and playoff contender, but struggled to a 23-43 record in his first year during the lockout-shortened 2011-12 season as the team suffered several injuries to key players while adjusting to a new system. In the 2012-13 season, with strong performance from Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson, Jackson led the Warriors to a 47-35 record and a number 6 seed in the Western Conference playoffs. It was the first time the Warriors had made the playoffs since the 2006-07 season. The Warriors defeated the Denver Nuggets 4-2 in the first round, but lost to the San Antonio Spurs 4-2 in the semifinals. Originally signed under a 4-year, $8 million contract, Jackson earned 2 more years guaranteed on his contract in 2013, putting him under contract through 2014-15. The following season, the Warriors improved to 51-31, the team's first season with 50 or more wins since 1993-94. They reached the playoffs in consecutive seasons for the first time since 1992, but lost in the first round to the Los Angeles Clippers in 7 games. On May 6, 2014, Jackson was removed as head coach of the Warriors. The Warriors front office said the team was better than when Jackson arrived, but felt a different coach was needed to win an NBA championship. The following season, head coach Steve Kerr's Warriors won the team's first NBA title in 40 years. Jackson's time as head coach of the Warriors was marred by allegations of intense religious rhetoric and homophobia. Jackson had reportedly ranted about 2 staff members who were openly gay. Broadcasting career. Jackson worked as an analyst for New Jersey Nets on Yes Network, mostly with Marv Albert. He has also worked as an analyst for ABC, teaming with Mike Breen and former coach Jeff Van Gundy. At the end of the 2008 NBA season, Jackson unexpectedly quit his position with the Yes Network. This move fueled speculation that Jackson would be replacing Isaiah Thomas as coach of the New York Knicks, but Jackson said the rumors were untrue and the decision was based on a desire to stop commuting from Los Angeles and his contract with ABC. Still, the rumors persisted until the Knicks hired former Phoenix Suns head coach Mike D'Antoni. A basketball card depicting Jackson has gained notoriety for featuring the Menendez brothers in the background watching as courtside spectators. On May 17, 2014, Jackson reached a multi-year agreement to return to ESPN as a game analyst. In May 2023, in the days following the announcement of Joel Embiid as the 2022-23 NBA MVP, but before the details of individual votes were known, there was public criticism, most notably by Charles Barkley on TNT's Inside the NBA, of the only voter, at that point still unnamed, who didn't include the Denver Nuggets center Nikola Jokic in his top 5. As the NBA released the individual voting ballots, it was revealed that ESPN's analyst Jackson is the voter in question. Jackson immediately publicly apologized to the Nuggets and Jokic, stating that his exclusion of Jokic was a mistake and that Jokic is not only in the MVP discussion and deserved to be on my ballot, but is one of the greatest players in the history of this game and a top 10 center of all time. Both Van Gundy and Jackson were let go by ESPN and ABC amid a wave of layoffs at the network on June 30 and July 31, 2023, respectively. As a result, Doc Rivers and Doris Burke replaced the pair on the lead broadcast team. About Mark Jackson's personal life. Jackson married singer and actress Desiree Coleman on July 29, 1990. They have 4 children. Jackson and Coleman divorced in 2017 after 27 years of marriage. His son, Mark Jackson, Jr., played for the Manhattan Jaspers for the 2012-13 season after transferring from the University of Louisville. He is the older brother of one streetballer Troy Jackson, better known as Escalade. Troy Jackson died on February 20, 2011, at the age of 38. Jackson is a Christian and a licensed minister. Jackson is of partial Dominican descent, which qualified him to play for the national basketball team of the Dominican Republic. That is all we have for you today. Please go ahead and subscribe to our channel, like this video, share to your friends, and also leave your comment below.